This- Oh, we didn't do it right this morning. Oh well, we'll start without it because it takes too long to load it. So let me go over here, get rid of this, remove this. It'll put us both back on the screen where we belong. Monday, Boogie with the Bull. Monday morning, Caffeine, Dave Glovin, and Radio Roads. And it doesn't matter anyway because, oh, we are live. We're live on my profile on Facebook, and we're live on the Boogie with the Bull channel on YouTube. And if you're over on X or Streetlock and you hit the link, you're in the YouTube channel. So please come and join us. Randy, what do you got?
Oh, I got a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to try and move my microphone closer to my face. If I go dead, I'll have to come back.
Okay.
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 Okay. So quite a few different things to work on here today.
Okay.
The other day when I was on Dave's show, I got a cord twisted here.
Okay.
I mentioned about Cash Patel, and I posted on Facebook about Cash Patel and how the hell does the FBI agent director get his emails hacked, right?
Yep.
So he did a trap. He made a trap. He had a feel. His people had a feeling there were people looking to hack into emails.
Okay.
So he set himself up, and it worked. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to read a couple things here, and then we get it even had a name to the trap. It was called Crossfire Return. So if you guys want to know what it is, look up Crossfire Return. Okay.
Yep.
So his personal emails got hacked on purpose. Within 6 hours of the breach, Patel activated Crossfire Return. Crossfire Return is a counterintelligence sequence buried inside the FBI's own architecture since January 2025. The hack did not steal any secrets. It confirmed a location. Every digital intrusion leaves a return path. Every return path leads to a server. Every server has an owner. And guess what? It's not Iranians. It's right here in freaking Washington, D.C. They tracked it down to an address on K Street, wherever K Street in Washington, D.C. is.
Okay.
Okay? So now they have the people. They're going to make arrests, and they're going to continue with it. So it's kind of interesting how the Democrats attacked him, thinking how stupid could he be when it was actually what was a trap. Okay.
Okay.
So a couple of things having to do with Patel. People are asking, why does Trump want the Carg Island so bad? Okay. Have you heard about this one?
The Car Islands? No, I have not.
Okay. Okay. So the hack on Patel was Iranian. It was routed through Iran to trigger a diplomatic incident to stop the ground operation Carg Island. So it's done on purpose because under Carg Island, it's not just oil, there are vaults. And inside those vaults are the original ledgers of every transaction between 1979 and 2024, every dollar that went from Washington, D.C. to Tehran and back.
Okay.
The amount, $9.7 trillion, trillion with a T.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why he wants it. He wants to see who was sending all that money and get to the top of that. He also found out more about the Epsteins. I mean, it was a very well planned out trap, and a lot's going to come out of it. So, Cash Patel, I apologize for thinking you're stupid for your emails being hacked. You're smarter than I am.
You are smarter than those that thought it was just being done by Iranians, because we probably would have gone over it and bombed the hell out of someplace that we may not have needed to
See,
waste a
and
bomb.
that would explain probably why uh, Trump has no other alternative but to get boots on the ground to get access to those files underneath the ground of a Carg Island. If he just blows it away and sets the entire island on fire, there goes all that evidence. So he has to get boots on the ground to get that evidence to use it against whoever's going to use it against.
Right, right. It makes sense to get the evidence. I personally don't have much to say about what is going on in Iran between the United States and other countries of the world, other than it's starting to affect gas prices. It's taking too long to affect other countries of the world, and it should be dealt with. It should be done. It should be done
Yeah,
and over.
you know what doesn't make sense? And I think it boils down to not the war, Dave. I think it boils down to people using the war as an excuse to make more money. Remember how I mentioned on the last show that the Iranians gave a gift to the United States to try and bring the war to an end with all those 10 oil tankers? Well,
Yes.
just yesterday, Iran gave another 20 oil tankers to the United States. That's 30 oil tankers. That's a shitload of oil.
So
There's
if they're doing that, they want to end this. I'm sorry I cut you off. I didn't mean to.
there is no reason why our prices should be high, other than the fact that you have oil people who want to cash in on the war.
Well, yeah, I mean they're gouging us if we get 1% or less crude oil from Iran. Then that leaves 99, 98% we get from other places, which is most likely our own places. And there's no reason for oil companies gouging us.
There
You
isn't absolutely no. There's no reason why the price would be over $7 a gallon.
know,
Um, Not with our own people, drilling oil
you know,
and 30 oil tankers coming into our country, the Venezuelan
yeah,
oil. There's no reason why it should be that high. Absolutely no reason.
you know, and a gift of 30 tankers from the Iranians, if that's where it came from, is really time to call this thing to an end. Not necessarily leave the area, but change the way that we do it, because it sounds to me like the religious people in Iran want to sit and talk with us
Yeah, and I think they do,
or
but
buy some time. You know,
I think they're afraid to for the person to step forward and say, "Hey, I'm in charge now. I can make the decisions." I think he's afraid. The person's afraid to be taken out. Um, but
well, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, but I think what Trump has to do is make promises to the individual that's in charge now. Say, "Hey, we'll protect you. Come forward. Let's sign some paperwork and get this thing done."
That, and if the religious people want to be a part of it, then maybe they need to be a part of it and just be told that, hey, the country's given us a a somewhat of a peace offering, 30 tankers, which is probably a lot of a lot of oil that says, we want to surrender. So maybe what we're going to do is work with bringing out the religious people, the religious leadership, and giving help to the uh, Iranians that just want their country to be free.
Um, I'm laughing because I just read something that says the African nation said they will extradite Ilmar Omar for us.
Well, I
uh,
think I think there's enough people here to do that themselves, and the question is, are they going to keep her and prosecute her and keep her in here in jail, or are they just going to accept that there's 25 counts against her, which I guess the Supreme Court has backed up that we have the evidence and all, and just get rid of the lady, and move on. I don't know what we should do. Should we keep her in jail or just pack her up and send her home?
I think she should be deported, and her brother, because
Mhm.
the brother was also involved in receiving millions of dollars during the COVID shutdown. Newsmax indicated that she has been found guilty of student loan fraud,
Yep.
tax evasion fraud, bigamy, and a couple other things. The most recent campaign fraud. They also found out that AOC spent over $50,000 of campaign money to go have a good old time in Puerto Rico, and
Yep.
she did nothing to hide it. She was out there dancing, having a good old time on the campaign money, which I understand is illegal.
She
Um,
also, I believe, has student loan debt. I can't confirm that, but I believe she does. You know,
so, yeah,
you know,
I would love to see some high-ranking Democrats go to prison, but
yeah.
don't think I'm going to live that long to see that happen. Um,
Well,
Speaking of
I
living,
don't think you're going to see it because it's an ice problem. They don't want ice near them, and obviously this is why. So uh, who arrests them and detains them is your guess as good as my guess, I guess, at this point. So sending her home may just be best.
yeah. So what else I have is well, New York's always a favorite subject of mine. Um,
Oh God.
with the mayor raising the corporate taxes to 17.44%. You know, in a way, I can understand the concept of taxes on corporations because they're making a shitload of money,
Yep.
but they're also reinvesting it back into the community and the city that they are in. They're also hiring people and keep people getting a paycheck, but to raise it that high to where they're actually having a loss of net profit is going to do what I'm about to talk about, and that is they are leaving New York in the droves, and they're headed where? To
To
Texas,
Florida and
because
Texas,
Texas has 0% corporate tax.
right?
New York lost $111 billion
Yep.
in revenue and 11,000 jobs.
Yep. And 5.4 billion of it was mismanaged Medicare and Social Security funds, I believe.
So far since that uh, socialist has gotten into office, 892 companies have left New York.
Yeah. And Kathy Holcomb, the mayor of, not the mayor, the governor of New York, has come out that no, this whole thing isn't her fault, and they want the bad people gone, they want the good people to stay, and they want good people to come back and help them, and Robert the Zero and everybody else who's involved. I just think they set themselves up to set themselves up.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good
Good
morning, Ray.
morning.
So, joining us is Ray Figgins, from the Patriots Lab and the Patriots Lab Network. With us, a lot of times Ray joins us through that, and we get to take that advantage. So, Ray, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you. How you doing today, guys?
Good.
Doing okay.
Yep.
So what are y'all chopping it up about today?
The first,
Anything?
well, the
Go
first,
ahead.
the first thing I talked about was about Cass Patel I thought I had made a comment on Facebook about how can you be so stupid to have your emails get hacked, but it was actually was a trap, uh, and the trap even had a name to it. It was called
Crossfire
Crossfire
Return.
Return, and what it does is it was a virus inside his email on purpose. Uh, People hacked into it, and the virus went to where they were, and it turns out that they're not Iranians. They're right here on K Street in Washington D.C. And they got in. FBI got into everything they're up to, and found out all kinds of information about what they're doing. So it was a trap.
Hmm.
Some things that came out of that was um, as the okay. So first off, it wasn't Iranian. There was information there about Karg Island. You know, everyone's been saying that Trump just wants Karg Island for the oil, but it turns out underneath Karg Island are these vaults, and in these vaults are ledgers of every transaction from 1979 to 2024, showing every dollar that flowed from Washington D.C. to Tehran and back to the tune of $9.7 trillion. He wants those ledgers.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know about. I don't know. It could be possibly true, but I've been doing a lot of deep diving because since this has happened, I've surrounded myself with some smart people, and unless, first of all, you got to be a true believer. No matter who you believe in, you got to be a true believer. And if we go back into the Bible, when this region used to be called Elam, and it's mind blowing because when you talk about what's under that ground, that is the original site. For whatever reason, through history, they've kept that site there. Under that site is their nuclear program.
Okay.
There are tunnels. There's a city under there. That is where their nuclear program is. If you go back to the Bible and God said in, oh gosh, I don't know if it was Jeremiah. I got to start writing this stuff down. But there's a scripture when God says he will break the bow. Now, for those who know what the bow is, the bow was what they used back in the ancient times to keep your enemy at a distance so they could not invade your land. Now, if you just think back to all the movies you've seen, and when the armies are invading, what was the first thing that the archers would do? They would go out there and they would arch out the bow to keep the enemy at a distance.
Yep.
Those are today's ballistic missiles. When you go to 2026, that Iran is using to keep its enemies at a distance. But God said, I won't come and fracture the bow. I won't come and derail the bow. He said, I will come and break the bow.
Okay.
And that is what Donald Trump is doing. Will there be boots on the ground? Of course there'll be boots on the ground. I fully understand that. We're going to get the uranium. Donald Trump, before his presidency is over, Lord, let him get through it. He is going to make sure the uranium is taken out of there. That is the accomplishment of the mission. Get the uranium.
Right.
So for everybody asking, is there going to be boots on the ground? Yeah. When? Nobody knows. When the president decides that our planes and our Apache helicopters and our minesweepers and everything has done all the work that is possibly capable of being done, then and only then will he send boots on the ground to do what the soldiers have signed up to do. People say, well, Donald Trump said he won't get us into no new wars. Dummies, this is not a new war. This has been going on for 47 years. Donald Trump is finally bringing an end to a war that has been perpetrated on us for decades.
Yep. Okay. Well, like I said,
One more thing.
No, go ahead.
You know, I always say when Donald Trump does stuff, he does it big. He always kills 3-4 birds with one stone. Not only did he send ICE to all the major airports to help facilitate the TSA agents, who are now getting paid, thank God.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't have to pull them out, being that he's got him in there, and he knew that. Donald Trump is protecting our soft targets. Airports are one of the major soft targets in this country.
Right.
And now Donald Trump has ICE in all of the facilities. Think about that. Where terrorists would want to come in and do damage or try to stand. You know, Democrats, they don't care. They don't care about the long lines. There could have been all kind of terrorists standing in those lines waiting to do something. People need to wake up. The Democrats never cared about us. They don't care about us.
No. The only thing they cared about were the desks at Delta that served the Congress people, and I believe those desks have been removed by Delta Airlines.
I mean, you go out to these No King rallies, you think you had a United Nations parade. I mean, for the love of Christ.
We have
every flag out there except the American flag.
We have not had a king in over 250 years, and it will be another 250 years at least before we have one.
Those are stupid people. I don't put my energy into them people. I just think it's hilarious.
Right.
The same people that say no kings. Well, this king is allowing you to go out there and speak against them. I don't know no king that do that.
No. You know, I'm starting to agree with our religious people that the only king is the one who made himself the king and then created this whole thing, and that's the one you need to talk to. You know, Catholic people, Christian people, they call him God the Father. Other people call him God the Father. We just call him the Lord.
Hey, but for anybody that's confused on what's happening today, get into the Word. Get into your Word. Go get into Revelations. Get into the prophecies. Get into the history of Persia and what God said the last days of Persia will be like, and what that region will be like. And you will understand, if you are truly a God-fearing man and you believe, that'll answer all your questions. I don't have to know. I don't have to sit here and go back and forth with Democratic Christians, because they don't know their Bible Act, obviously. So I watch because I'm a believer.
Yeah.
And God allows me to listen to people and drain information and go do my research and be like, wow. And then it gets inside me. It's like, well, do you believe?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, shoot, ain't nobody saying nothing. This right here in the Word. Okay, so this is how it's going down. Okay, so this is what the boat. Oh, okay. Okay, so you say, okay, I understand now. I understand. So you are breaking the bow. You are now making it to where Iran can no longer keep its enemies at an arm's length. And see, this is the first time that Iran and still today is lashing out at their own region. They're not touching us. So once they have that opportunity, oh my goodness. See, and we thought there would never be peace in the Middle East. But see, I never looked into my word. I never started putting things together. Yeah, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. The bow's about to be broken.
Okay, let's go to Randy and get your thoughts, and we'll come back to Ray in a moment.
You know, I have mixed feelings. Like, you know, I believe in the Bible. I believe in God. I believe in heaven. I believe in the hell. I believe in the rapture. I believe in the the final war of the where all the countries go into Middle East to defend Israel. I believe in the 7 year tribulation. I believe all that. I also know that there's descriptions in the Bible that talks about that would describe like dinosaurs. You have the giants. They have the Bible has a name for them. 15-foot tall men. I guess I assume women as well, who are considered giants, who were fallen angels who came to Earth, and they had sex with the human females. That'd be an interesting. That'd be an interesting sci-fi movie. Can't imagine that. Anyways, they did, and that's where Samson Goliath story comes from. I know the Bible also has descriptions that also describes some type of spacecraft or craft, the wood chariot of fire and so forth. I do also believe that there's a lot of folks who are pushing to get information out concerning UFOs. Are they true aliens or are they demons?
How did we get to
To make,
UFO?
hold on, and I also believe that Trump is being used by God to put everything into place to bring peace to the Middle East. He has. There was even a film of orbs over Israel that was supposedly also protecting from the missiles being fired into Israel. So there's a lot going on, a lot of biblical things going on. The whole, is Trump being used of God, or is she, something else that's going to bring us into Armageddon? It's a very interesting time to live in, and I think we just got to sit back. God's in control. The Bible says we're supposed to pray for our leaders in office, and to as long as they themselves believe in God and follow God's teachings, God will continue to support them, protect them from evil, and have them do it. It's going to be interesting about 1 or 2 years, especially the next couple of weeks. I keep saying about I love the Democrat people themselves, just like I love the Muslims who are not radicalized, but you got a lot of Democrat Congress and senators who want nothing more than to destroy this nation and to bring down our president and to cause people to rise up to take him out physically. I would love to see, the Epstein files come out, to see whose name's on it. I would love to see the files that are supposedly in Carg Island. I would love to see, the Venezuela said that we have this information showing how the election was stolen. A friend of mine, while we're live here, sent me this here. Says that Florida just had an election, and the Democrat won by like 800 seats. And it turns out that this particular person stole the key that allows access to the computers and so forth where the votes are kept and stored. So now the Republicans are demanding a recount because they think that it was stolen away from them. A lot of interesting things going on, but let's not leave Canada out. Okay, I only saw this, Ray. The Canadian government is demanding that the citizens turn over all their weapons to the government. They're not going to allow the citizens to own any weapons. Have you seen that?
No.
So 97.5% of the Canadians have refused to comply with the government's order to turn over their banned firearms. And there's a video attached to the article, and this one guy is questioning, I guess, the prime minister why they don't want their citizens to have weapons. And if they don't turn them over soon, there's going to be a door-to-door visit by their, I guess, their military, I guess they call them
The Mounties.
Their Mounties, going door to door to search the homes looking for these weapons.
Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I heard that 2 years ago when I was going back and forth up to Canada. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I believe it when I see it. I heard that years ago they were gonna go door to door and do that shit. At the end of the day, you know what? I don't even get into I don't get into it anymore. At the end of the day, it's going to be what the people want it to be. If it takes an uprising for it to happen, so be it. But and I could put it just so plain and simple. The devil's days are numbered. His reign is coming to an end, and right now I focus on North Korea trying to get stupid a little bit. I sit back and I focus and I wonder if China and Russia will get to the point of desperation, knowing that if we get control of Iran, we then put a stranglehold on them. These are things you have to think about because they are really they're in the midst.
Well, Iran just turned over 30 oil tankers to the United States. That oil is coming back to us for us to do whatever we're going to do with it. That's got to be hurting a lot of other countries because that oil probably would have gone to them for their own use. And now we have control of 30 oil tankers.
Well, me personally, I wouldn't care if gas got to $6-7 a gallon and stuff like that, because I understand this is something that the history books will have no choice but to etch in stone.
It is something that the history will need to etch in stone. But I think a lot of people are looking at the oil companies as just being greedy and gouging us because they can. We get less than 1% of our oil from Iran. So 98, 99% of our oil comes from us, either wherever else we can get it or it comes from here. So there really doesn't seem to be any rationale that they have, except they're just being greedy. And I'm sorry if that sounds unedited, but there's a lot of stupid and uneducated who are bringing that to my attention.
But you know what? I don't even blame the oil companies. I really don't. I blame the Democratic Party because
Okay.
they're the ones who started implementing this Green New Deal shit and all of this stuff and stopping. We have as much oil as we need off the coast of Alaska, off the coast of California. We have everything we need. And people say, well, if we got this and we got that, why don't Trump go into that? Listen, people have to understand our natural reserves are for something major. This isn't major. See, I listen to all the people boo-hoo about boo-hoo. And our natural resources, our reserves are just that. They are for us in case the day ever came where we are really in a world war and we have to sustain ourselves. Really.
But we didn't go
This
to
no
war.
reason to him and ha over gas fluctuating up and down. We did worse shit under Biden.
We didn't go to war to bust shit over Biden, as you just said. Okay, if we went to war to bust shit over Biden, we wouldn't be in Iran right now. We'd be baby digging, as Trump said, and gas prices would be down to a quarter a gallon if they can go that low. I mean, the point is that to a lot of people, they are worrying what they're doing. They're worrying about, do they buy their prescriptions? Do they pay their rent? Do they buy gas? Do they, what do? They got to get to work. So they need gas. They got to get to shop to food stores. They need gas. Food prices are going to start going up. Prices are going to start going up. And I don't think anybody, Republican or Democrat, regardless of what they think of their congressperson right now, wants to be in this position where we're constantly being told we have so much and we don't need help from anybody else. If we have so much from all our sources, why are we paying the prices that we are? I could understand if the price increase was to make sure the United States military has the gas that they need to secure this country. ICE and the CBP, Customs Border Patrol, has enough money or enough gas, if they need gas or whatever, to take care of securing this country. People don't necessarily care what's going on in Iran right now because right here we think it's over gas prices, and nobody has told us it isn't.
Unfortunately, in America, there is a side that wants to see America fail.
There is
a side that wants to see American citizens suffer.
There is
a side that can't even, to this day, state what a woman is. There is a side that wants you to mutilate your kids at an age where they can't fully comprehend what they're doing. There's a side that only cares about themselves.
And we're removing them, they say, as fast as we can find reason to do so. But still, we're paying $4 plus in some
Hey, and you know what? It's going to happen until the American people are able to take blinders off and see when people are trying to help them and see when people are trying to hurt them and be willing to stand up for what's right. Because the same people that are being abused by their abusers, those are the same people that are uplifting the same people that are abusing them. So that's a problem that I don't know how you solve. When people that are being abused by a party continue, it's the stock syndrome. When will they wake up and let them go? When will they realize that throughout history, these same people have never really done nothing for them. That's why we went through the Civil War. That's why we went. There's a certain people that just didn't want everybody to just be happy, be successful, be free, and live amongst each other in harmony. So until we can eliminate that divide, and that's a spirit, that's not a political stance. That's a spirit, because from a baby, we're taught right and wrong. So we know. But as we grow, we start developing our own characteristics and our own way of looking at things and wanting things. And everything gets blown out of perspective and blown out of whack. And that's what we see now. We got these teenage takeovers. You know what? You know how you stop the teenage takeovers? You go round up every kid, go home and lock their parents up. That's what you do. When you got 2,000 teenagers taking over parking lots, shooting people, running up cars in circles.
Yep.
Send a paddy wagon out there, by force, load their ass up, and don't let them out until their mama and daddy come get them. And then when their mama and daddy come get them, you pass everything off to the mama and daddy.
No, okay. I disagree if you're saying that you go after the parents and you leave the kids to do whatever they're doing. No, you go after both and you teach the kids who know better that this is not the way you do it.
Well, kids are gonna be kids. See, people think because kids are 17, 16, kids do stupid shit. Kids do stupid shit. The parents are the ones who stop them from doing it. See, we can't put our hands on nobody else's child.
We were kids, and we did, to quote you, we did a lot of stupid shit, but we didn't go around killing people. And the ones that did go around killing
I'm not talking about
dealt with.
I'm not talking about killing. Okay. I'm talking about these teen meetups and causing havoc out in the street at 10, 11 o'clock that can lead up to that type of stuff. Go and hold the parents accountable. You think these parents? See, the parents don't want to take control of their kids. They can. Maybe not all of them. But the majority of them can. But see, it's easier to just let them go. Just let them go outside. Look, just don't get in trouble. And see, they're out there doing all this crazy stuff and ain't being held accountable. So the parents, they think, no. Bring their ass home in the paddy wagon. Let mom and daddy know they got a court date in a couple of days. And they got a hefty $650 fine. And if they don't pay the fine, one of them going to jail. See how fast that child switches up.
Well, you might be surprised and see how fast that child keeps doing exactly what they're doing. Until we jump in and start doing something. Because after you lock up all the parents, what are you going to do?
You know, the problem with kids nowadays is, first off, the internet. Okay, the access to all kinds of stupid shit. I think there has to be stronger restrictions on the internet than what kids under age 18 can view and post, and then also, you know, the parents, because the parents should be responsible as well to watch what their kids are doing, become more involved in their kids' growth. I remember, you know, as a teenager, you know, my parents, said when the sun goes down, the lights on the street turn on, you get your ass home. I remember they say when you come home from school, you get you'll have a snack, you do your homework, and then it's playtime, and then get back here and wash your hands, get ready for supper, blah blah blah. They knew where we were, they knew what we were doing, and they participated in our lives, in teaching us right from wrong. I remember, I've mentioned it before, I used a curse word at my mom, and I was picking my teeth up off the floor. And we don't do it anymore.
Ivory soap.
Yeah, and ivory soap, yes, and I had
Always
that as
tastes like
well,
ivory soap.
and it was used soap. It wasn't a brand new bar. It was the bar of soap
No,
off
it
the
was a
damn
brand.
bathtub.
It was a brand new bar in my
Maybe
case.
for you, but not for me.
You earned
There,
a
there.
brand new bar.
Look, when you when you start seeing ninth graders, eighth graders, when you start seeing public schools allow their students to leave school under the direction of a teacher
Mm-hmm.
to go out and protest.
That should never have happened.
Yep.
And protest bullshit.
It
Protest
should not.
not being an American. Protesting not being patriotic. Protesting to
It,
hate your country. Protesting to hate authority. Protesting to hate law enforcement.
the
What?
the point I'm trying to make is that child didn't belong out protesting. Period. They belonged in school in that class. That they went off to protest land and protested. They want to protest something, sit down and talk to their parents and talk. No, sit down and talk to their parents, and some will find, no, you won't go to that protest.
So what
And
happened?
some,
What happened?
and some will, yes, you will go to that protest.
It
Yes, you
shouldn't
can go
even
to
be
that
allowed in
protest,
the
but you won't
curriculum.
go to that protest during school time. We will
It
go
should.
together.
The point is, it shouldn't even be allowed.
Well, okay, I don't agree. Okay, I've never agreed with it shouldn't be allowed because that's BS. You give people an opportunity to learn something by sending them there, but the time to send them there is not when they should be sitting in their
Okay,
classroom
okay.
learning
Let
about
me
the
ask you a question,
history of
man.
the
Let me ask you a
United
question.
States.
All of these schools letting these kids out to protest against ICE. What are they learning?
That should not. No,
That's what I just said.
They
That's
should
what I
not.
just said.
They should not be leaving a classroom that
Exactly.
they're supposed to be in to waste time learning a protest. If you want to go to that protest, then either go after school or before school when you're not supposed to be there. If you want to be against ICE, you have a right to be against ICE. But I will go to my grave saying that Renee Good had a right to be against ICE, but she didn't have a right to drive her car into an ICE operation and be asked to leave and be told and not leave and ended up shot.
We know that. That's
okay?
last month. That's months ago news. We know that.
I don't know what to say about Alex Good because I'm still sitting on the fence that Alex Good went to a protest with 2 magazines and a handgun and supposedly other guns in his car or on his body. I don't know. No one seems to know how his gun got introduced to the situation. At this point, I really don't care other than he got detained and an ICE officer asked him probably if he had other guns or he pulled out that gun he had, and as far as I am concerned, he was wrong.
I don't know how we got there. I was talking about the kids.
Okay.
And how the kids, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. School is for your education.
That's correct.
So if you want to do whatever after school, and I don't even think a teacher should be organizing anything with students after school. But if they want to, that's on them. But during school, that is strictly education.
Right.
The problem with schools...
You can't pray, but you can go to a protest, huh?
The problem with schools today is that you have too many teachers who are liberal, who are woke, who have their own personal agendas. They come to schools with blue, green, orange, purple friggin' hair. They got rainbow colors and bullshit all through the all through the classroom. They hate Trump. They hate the country. They hate everything about capitalism, and they're the ones teaching our kids who are little computers, and they're being our minds are being erased. So the parents at home are probably saying Trump's good. They're in school, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, saying Trump is bad. Guess who's going to win out? And you have some students who are actually recording it. No, come on. They are teaching the students to hate our country. And I'm going to say at least 3/4 of that is going to land on and is going to sit and stay with the kid. 1/4 is going to walk away saying that teacher is stupid. I'm going to tell my mom, my dad, and what happens happens. They shouldn't be going to protests. They shouldn't be going leaving the classroom to go out there and participate in protests because you don't know what they're going to come up against. I mean, the No Kings protest. What was out there? Did you see the people? You have these people who are pretending to be dogs, and they got chains attached to them. And you have people who are, lead them on leash. You had half-naked people. You had naked people. You had
stupid people that don't deserve energy.
Stupid people do stupid things. That's
exactly.
Here or there. But a rainbow hair colored person indoctrinating in the schools is wrong. I guess it's at a certain level it's okay. I guess when you get
first of all,
I guess when you get into college it's okay. But as far as I'm concerned, it should not be.
That's where we make a mistake. We have to stop judging people by their appearance.
That's true.
I take it the same way as people judging black guys that are educated because they have cornrows in their hair coming down here thinking they're gangbangers or something like that. And to this day, I got a cousin that has them down to here, and he's a professor at Boston University.
Yeah.
So we need to stop. We cannot judge. We can judge people's morals and all of that, but you can't judge them off of their appearance. Some of the brightest, smartest people look crazy.
But when you look at the teachers who have purple hair, green hair, orange hair, if you go into their damn classrooms, more than likely you're going to see the left liberal woke images, and you know damn well that teacher is teaching the students to be the same way.
Well, I can agree.
But that's the point that you need to remove.
That way, but we're not going to paint everybody with purple, green, and orange and yellow hair with a brush.
Right.
No.
You need to remove the documentation or whatever is displayed in the classrooms that are of one way. And that will probably lead to removing a teacher who happens to have purple or orange or red hair or rainbow hair, because I'm sure when you remove the stuff, you're going to end up removing the teacher. That's okay. But like Ray said, no, you can't judge it just because I have rainbow hair or wear a rainbow wig into my class that I'm teaching.
I'm saying if you follow that teacher to her or his classroom, you're going to see the same thing being displayed on the walls. And that's what's going to reflect on the students.
That stuff needs to be removed.
Well, yeah, all students like that are going to be a product of their teacher. I mean, the teacher is the one who's in control.
Yeah, the teacher's the cool one, and they're going to be with that teacher. But they are a blank slate that doesn't even know what they need to know or what they know,
right?
And teaching them the history and not adding the sideshow of indoctrination is what we need, is what we miss.
But, once again, unfortunately, I know it's like beating a dead horse. It comes back to the home. It comes back to the home.
Yeah. Here, look at something.
There's a percentage that will be persuaded even after the values of home have been instilled. That's just life. But the vast majority, if you're brought up with the right home training, you're going to be able to withstand,
Yeah.
even though it be difficult. You'll be able to withstand
Yeah.
all the negative
Yeah.
bullshit.
I have to push.
I got two.
I have to push you along this morning, Ray, and I don't mean to, but I do. I have to be somewhere at noon, so I've got to jump off here pretty soon.
I just wanted to end one thing. You know, our children are a product of what we as parents instill in them.
Yep.
If we get them from the very get go and throughout there until they're 18, they make the decision for themselves and teach them right from wrong and be more aware of what's going on in their lives, the friends they choose, the people they hang with, what they're bringing home from school. Go out there and go to the parent-teacher meetings. Go to the all the stuff that the school has when they open up the school and bring you allowed in and you can see what's going on. They got to be more. You got to be more into the lives of your children. Otherwise, they're going to turn out and they'll wind up going to prison or going to wind up going to the morgue. One of the two.
Or both.
Or
okay,
both.
Ray, your closing thoughts.
Nah, I mean, we just got to keep this country and keep our leadership in prayer. And, nobody knows. Only God knows.
All right, gentlemen.
Hopefully things continue go well for me this week. I have the time to do it. I'll be doing a broadcast Thursday at 7 p.m. With Michael Anthony, and it's going to be about aliens and spacecraft.
Good. You owe us that.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
right, gentlemen.
Get my maturity together. Take care.
There may be a
Wednesday, right?
I'm not sure. No, there won't be a Wednesday because it's even earlier than this week than it normally runs.
Okay, so see you on Friday.
There won't be a Wednesday unless it's later. But right now it's looking at Friday.
Okay, see you.
All right, thank you. All right, yes, as we said, Boogie with the Bull. Morning Caffeine is Monday and Friday at 10 a.m. We do reserve the right to go 7 p.m. Thursday evening and 7 p.m. Sunday evening. If there is a reason, we won't just be on Tuesdays or Thursdays. On Thursdays or Sundays. We won't be on Tuesdays because Tuesdays, Jen's Straight Talk with Jen Trivia, and you need to watch that and learn and have some fun. Even if you have kids or don't have kids, you just need to watch and learn and have fun. I got to get rid of this over here. Let's see, today we didn't quite load it right, and just didn't go the way it needed to go with loading of that. I promise we'll do a better job on Friday, 10 a.m. Friday morning. Be there or don't. I'm Dave Glovin. Thank you. Let's go over here and hit this one.